We bring you our draft summaries and a quick Q&A from owners, except for Buffalo, because they dropped the ball. A new segment called Carney's Rant, and DGI Reppensane joins us today. All this and more on this episode of the iohl East Coast Radio Show. Welcome to the iohl East Coast Radio Show. As always, I'm with Miss Ovechkin, Carnivore, and myself, Sir Mike Knight. Today joining us is DGI Reppensane. Anyway, DGI, welcome to the show. You've been asking to come on the show for, what, 2 seasons now?
I don't know. I lose track.
Well, we finally got you on. We're going to try to get all the owners on this season. All right. So we're going to run through a quick Q&A from all the owners. We've got them all except Buffalo because Rainbow dropped the ball here. I've been trying to get in touch with them all day, try to get these answers. Anyway, so Boston's owner, Twilight Zone Man, rookie owner, said, we asked him, how do you feel about your draft? How do you feel that your draft went as a whole? He responded, I think our draft here in Boston went pretty well. A few guys I wish I could have gotten, but we certainly got a few steals too. Overall, very happy with the team, with the way our team is looking for the season. Hashtag Bruins for S6 Stanley Cup. I don't like that part. Mostly because I'm on Boston, and last time we claimed that we were going to win anything, we ended up winning silver. Next question was his first pick. His first pick was Lost and Hungry, a.k.a. XCX009. He's an outstanding defenseman, played with him on Germany, and was very impressed. Not to mention, he is a great guy. Who else in the East Coast do you think that had a good draft? Detroit Red Wings. There you go, DGI. A little dick sucking for you. I think DGI comprised a great team, had a lot of players he picked on my draft list. Job well done to him. Will be tough competition this season in the Eastern Conference for sure. And a brief shout out. I want to give a shout out to my GM, Tucker. Sunday night, I had an essay to write for school, and Monday was celebrating my birthday with my family. He completed both drafts for me, and I'd like to thank him for that. He's a great dude. So, since we're skipping Buffalo, let's go down to Columbus. Carney, you look bored. Why don't you give us Columbus real quick?
Columbus. I got in touch with their owner. He gave you some very, very short and sweet answers. First question, which was, how do you feel your draft went? And Kazoo says bad, which I think he was being sarcastic, because later on, question number 2, which was who was your first pick, he said he's okay. Ornithopters, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. If it's not how you pronounce it, correct me. I'm not into learning about gamer tag etiquette. And who else in the East Coast do you think had a great draft? He says Tampa. And a brief shout out or smack talk, Kazoo says, Kazoo really doesn't say anything there that's of all that too much importance. So we'll move on to Detroit, and I think that we'll let the owner of Detroit tell us what he answered. How do you feel the draft went as a whole there, DGI?
I didn't miss any picks. I got all the guys I wanted. We'll see how they work together. If things don't work out, we'll make trades if necessary. But as a draft, I think we did really well because we didn't miss a single pick. We had set up the guys that we would want to pick in each round, and we got them. There was no discrepancies whatsoever, so it went really well.
And who was your first pick?
Big Bear 6987. Everybody knew I was going to pick him, though.
All right. And so that's what you were telling me earlier, is that you said everybody in the league knew you were going to take Big Bear in the first round, as one, he's a great center and a good friend.
And he was my management last season in Tampa, and he's top center. I mean, can't match the chemistry that him and I have together up front. For me personally, I don't know. There might be other better pairs out there, but our chemistry is really, really good.
Okay.
So,
Who else do you think had a great draft on the East side?
yeah, Toronto did. Toronto did great, of course, and Boston is going to surprise a lot of people. Twilight's a new owner, but he got a lot of good picks, and he's starting out with a good goalie already. He's got Mack and net. He picked up his first round, obviously. He picked up XCX, and it's going to be great. They're going to be a good team.
You didn't answer this when I sent you the questionnaire, but I was wondering if you wanted to give a brief shout out or maybe talk a little smack to the rest of the league.
No.
No.
Good.
All right.
That's just not Joe, man. That's why I want to date him so bad. I want to date with me.
All right, Mike. I think you're up, bud. New York.
All right, New York Rangers.
Sorry, I'll give you New York. I'm the only one with it.
Thank you.
Forza is the owner of New York, in case you didn't know that. So I asked him the same questions as how do you feel the draft went, and he says, I think the staff did a great job. Would have been a bit smoother if owners and outsiders stopped talking out of turn and just causing issues altogether. Way to hit that point home, Forza. That's what we needed. First pick. Obviously, if you knew Forza, if you were in the owner's room, or you just kind of maybe heard him talking on the street corner, you knew he was going after young prodigy. And he says because he did everything for him moving into the season, and he says that he's like a brother from another mother. And I asked him who else he thought had a great draft. He said, to be honest, no one. Not impressed at all by the East Coast teams. I feel like a lot of teams drafted poorly and don't have the depth that's needed to go far in the season. But if I had to pick a team besides my own, I'll give it to Tampa Bay. And shout outs, he would say, I would like to give a shout out to all my fellow teammates on the Rangers. Shout out to Doc. Wrong radio show, bud. And damn, those Patriots suck. And a shout out to everyone but Toronto.
Fuck you, Jersey.
Everybody except for Toronto, Forza loves you. All right, moving on to some smack talking, which already started for Forza. Now, in case you don't know, Toronto and New York, they have a deep-seated rivalry moving into the season. So, Forza states, really, Toronto, that's the team you draft? Because to be frankly honest, your team's looking kind of weak, not to mention you stole 3 players from us in the draft. All I have to say is, if that's the team you think you're winning the cup with, good luck, because I just don't see it happening. Just remember, when you play us, you better bring your A game or expect to be straight up embarrassed every time you see us on the ice. Jack and Tan.
Go Jersey.
Go Jersey. All right, Mike, Philly.
I'll do,
All right,
I'll do Philly if you guys don't mind, since it is my team.
Oh,
Forgot about the TC.
technically.
Oh, it's my team. Hey, TC is part of the team, so I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
I'm sorry.
What, Mike, the whole entire draft, this was Mike. I don't think I'm going to get drafted. I'm going to go to TC. I don't think I'm going to get drafted. Oh my god, I'm not going to get drafted. And now he wants to talk big shit because he won in the 8th round? Shut the fuck up. Anyways. So Philly, the owner, is a salty sailor. He said, how do you feel about how his draft went as a whole? He said, I feel that my draft went perfect. As a first-time owner taking part in the first draft, I set out a list of guys I wanted in particular rounds and stuck to it, and they landed where I wanted them to be. His first pick was Brachiosaurus Rex. He never played with him, but I've heard plenty of good things about him, and besides, you can't go wrong with a good center. Who else in the East do you think had a great draft? He said, I think Forza had an amazing draft. I guess from what I could tell, he got everyone he wanted and even got some sleepers late in the draft. And then some brief shout out or smack talk. I would like to give a shout out to DJI. I don't really know him too well, but the guy is a class act. I've never seen him really trash talking, and he always compliments staff. And even though we're in the same conference, I could be wrong, but I had a question. I don't see that guy turning me away or at least sending me to the right direction if I need help.
Tampa. I suppose I'll take Tampa since that's the team I was drafted to. And Geis, as nice as he is, he kept it short and sweet for me. So same questions in a row as, how do you feel the draft went? Geis says, our draft went better than we planned. And we weren't expecting to be able to pick up Shake, so that was a nice surprise. That's BCR Shake for you, iohl not inclined. For your first pick, they picked me. I don't really consider myself a first pick. I went in the second round, but I was their first pick, and Geis mentioned that must obviously be a plug because, well, I asked him, and you had to respond. So, yeah, he put plug on there for me. And it says, who else in East Coast? He says he really doesn't care who else had a great draft. And brief shout out or smack talk, and he says, this one's to Tank. Keep your head up, Tank, because the Goon Squad is coming.
And I guess I'll take Toronto. Mike 5, the owner, asked how the draft went. He said, I felt my draft went exceptionally well. I got all the players I wanted except for one, and Toronto was looking scary this season. His first pick, I have no idea who this guy is. Tank 6109. Am I saying that right?
I'm not sure about that pronunciation.
Yeah.
We might have to look it up. I don't know.
Yeah. I took Tank because of his versatility to play wing and is also a damn good C. Is that cunt? Just kidding, Tank. Holy shit. Don't blow up my fucking WhatsApp. All right. Who else in the East Coast do you think had a great draft? As much as I hate to say it, I think the New York Rangers also had a great draft out of the East. I suppose that's what he was trying to say there. Brief shout out or smack talk. I would like to give a shout out to all my players that I drafted and to all the owners. Look out for blue and white.
Yeah, Tampa.
All right. Now that's over. Move on into our draft grades. Now these are our opinions collectively. DJI, why don't you start us off with Boston real quick?
Okay, their first round pick was Lawson Hungary, who they already addressed as XCX from Germany from last season, and he was also on my team in Tampa in season 5. Moved up from TC on my first line or second line in Tampa. Now he's first round pick for a team in season 6, and it's definitely a solid pick for them. I mean, coming into the league, not knowing too many people, they got to pick up good D, and he's definitely gonna fill that spot for him. Then what is it? People to watch out for here?
The sleepers.
Sleepers. Yeah, Sir Mike Knight's definitely a sleeper on there, and Zombie Brains. Mike played D last season and season before that, but I think center is going to be his new home for a few seasons to come. Zombie Brains. I haven't seen him play, but I've heard he's good, but I don't know the availability. But yeah, those are some sleepers. I'd look out for Lost Munchies if he plays. I don't know if he's playing this season either, but he must because Twilight's one of his buddies, so he wouldn't pick him up if he wasn't. And yeah, I'd look out for Mac in net. He's improved on last season. Played a few games with him in NHL 15, so they'll be good too.
All right, and you had to put a draft grade on that, on Boston.
Yeah, I'd give him a solid B for a first season owner. He did a good job. Got a few good players. I think a few of those players that he picked up earlier in the rounds there might be unknowns to the league that he got to scout with, or people that he got to join. So who knows?
Carney, you want to bring us Buffalo real quick?
Bringing Buffalo. Buffalo's number 1 pick was Murder Mitten. I personally have never heard of the guy, so I'm assuming that he knows what he's doing. It's not uncommon for me to not hear of a player. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Murder Mitten.
No, honestly.
No, so he's
But,
probably a scouted player. So, good luck with your scouted player. Good for you. Sleepers that I've seen on their team is Ink Boy and Grateful Venom. Grateful Venom was drafted as a right wing, but a lot of people don't know it unless you've been in the league a while. Grateful Venom's a good goalie. He is actually a really good goalie. Doesn't really like playing goalie, but he's good at it. So that was a sleeper pick for them getting him that late for a versatile player like that. And then somebody to look out for. It's got to be Rainbow for me. And due to the fact that I don't really recognize a lot of the players on their team, and the ones that I do see in starting positions, I truly only honestly seen 4 solid starters, and for that, I gave them a draft grade of a D, as in not Buffalo, but Detroit. D.
Ooh. All right. Nisso, you want to bring us Columbus?
Yeah, sure. Their number 1 pick was Ormnithropper. I'm not too familiar with him, but I've seen his name around the league. He's a very solid guy. He has pretty good stats when you look him up. Some sleepers for them are Dolph Ween, with all those E's in his name. And then someone to look out for, Cooker and Sweet Lou, who they got, I believe, with their 2nd pick, Sweet Lou. Yeah, I mean, Columbus had a pretty quiet draft. They didn't really make a big splash, but they got some solid players. Chemistry is going to be a big thing for them. We'll see how all these players work together. We'll see how their management works with all their players together. So, for those reasons, we gave them a C+ for their draft.
And if I'm not mistaken, Cooker was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year in season 4, wasn't he?
Okay, I wasn't here season 4, so.
Yeah, I think he was.
No, he was
Anyway.
a terror in the international tournament.
Say that again?
I know he was a terror in the international tournament.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
a player
and-
to look out for, definitely.
Yeah, he was. I believe he was runner-up to Pope Show. Who was,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna bring Detroit, the number 1 pick, Big Bear. Solid pick right there. He does what a center needs to do, and that's win some face-offs. And like DGI said earlier, their chemistry together is just unbelievable. They've been playing with each other for a long time, so that was a solid first-round pick there. Sleepers, I got Role Model here. Role Model went in the last pick of the draft, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Role Model there, and then some players to look out for there in Detroit is Bull. I don't know if you're gonna be having him play left wing or left D, but either way, he's a damn good defenseman, and he can play a damn good wing as well. Blaine Pike. I'd also consider that a sleeper there in round 5. He's a really, really solid left wing, and GOW Crooks there in goal. Overall, I give the draft grade a B+. And DGI, you want to bring us Montreal?
Do that. Well, this is a team that's been doing a little bit of chirping in the owner room lately. Yeah, apparently Striker's the best goalie this league's ever seen. I don't know. But anyways, on to their draft. Their first round pick was Striker, and if he's as good as they say, then that's a good pick. Never played with him. Sleepers, not very familiar with any of those players. Vicious Tyrant I saw on the goalie leaderboards. They got him in the 6th round. Yeah, 6th round, so that would be a good one. Players to watch out for. I'd probably say either Hertz or Striker. Yeah, I don't know. Big Pete, he's a good player, but I don't know if he's going to help that line out any. Don't know. I'd give them a B- maybe.
All right. Carney, you want to bring us New York?
Oh, yes. Yo, bro. Oh. New York, number 1 pick was obviously Young Prodigy. Their sleeper, Premier X27. Late in the draft, a lot of people don't know who he is. Watch out for that one. And someone to look out for other than Young Prodigy, if you don't look out for him, that's a bad idea, is I'm Just a Squid. So you definitely need to watch out for those two. If they're on the same line, it's going to be a very rough game. I don't know if they're going to be able to play on the same line. They're probably going to try to split that talent up a little bit. But overall draft grade, I gave them an A-.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Philly. Number 1 pick, Brosaurus Rex. I've seen him around the league. I haven't played with him. But he seems to be a pretty decent player there. Some sleepers, some Fergan Beeman. A lot of good goalies went late in the draft, and Fergan was one of them. And you know, our first TC player that we're talking about here, D-Urge. Look for him to jump up to the regular roster at some point. Anyway, somebody to look out for, Manship. Cup winner, season 5. As the owner of Vancouver there. Overall, I give their draft a good B+ over there in Philly. Marge, you want to bring us Tampa?
Yeah, Tampa. Their number 1 pick was Carnivore, which we discussed earlier.
Wasted pick.
No, I mean, all joking aside, Carney's a very solid goalie. I think he'll be really good for them in net. It was a really nice pickup from them. It's not a bad idea to start out from the Nets, and he's a very good choice to go with that. Some sleepers for them are Reggie Hauser, and don't drop the Sosa, who I believe is in TC as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he makes his way up to the roster. Someone to look out for, BCR Shake. I believe he was the Lady Bing winner in the international tournament. He knows how to play all position well. He's switching to defense this year. He's very good at it. And he's a guy to look out for. He's going to be hard to cross that blue line without him in your face or him creating some friction there. And then Geis, just always a person that performs. So for those reasons, we're giving them a solid A for draft. They got a lot of depth, I think, and I think they did well in the draft.
All right, Carney, you want to bring us home with Toronto?
Bringing us home with Toronto. Their number 1 pick, for obvious reasons, was Tank 6109. I think that's how he pronounces it, unless it's 610-9.
Forgot the S.
What's that?
Forgot the S. It's Stank.
Oh, Stank. I'm sorry. It was spelled wrong here.
Typo.
Stank,
Yeah.
6109, number 1 pick. Now, Tank is a top-tier player. Don't let his always talking about how good he is fool you. He is a decent, and I'd say more than decent player. He can change a game, and he can definitely make the plays that are needed to get you back into the game. So pick Tank first is not exactly. It's not what everybody thinks it is. They're not picking him to try to. Everybody thinks they're picking him for it. No, he's a good pick. He's number 1 pick, and that's who Toronto went with, and they'll be good with it.
It's gonna be interesting seeing him play right wing this season. I mean, I'm used to seeing him play center and picking up that trash in front of the net.
Are you kidding me? He plays center, but he would stay at the right wing position. So he was always playing right wing. So
And say what you want. He's a trash man. You know, he's always there for that kick out, man. He picks that up and he'll score it on you. So, man, sorry, Carney, go ahead.
No, I agree. Sleepers from Toronto is I have Bad News Barrett, who I ran into last season. When I say last season, I mean the international tournament, real late, actually, and figured out who he was real fast. He's a really good player. Showed up out of nowhere, really, and was just plugged into Denmark's starting roster. And once he was there, he wasn't moving. That guy's good. And Pondler, I don't know too much about him. I've heard the name around, and I think it was DGI who really recognized the fact that he's a sleeper. But someone else to look out for would be Golden Aces and Nuke Bomb. Don't sleep on Nuke Bomb. So it's going to be a really tough team, and because of that, and the depth they did get, their draft grade is an A.
All right. Let's move on to an exciting new addition to the show. We're gonna go with Carney's roast.
Welcome to my first regular installment of Carney's roast. Forza kind of was a catalyst for this particular segment, and he took it so well. I figured we're just gonna keep running with it. And today we have DJ Rep Insane, which if you don't know, he's one of the most stand-up guys that I've come across in this league. And it was really hard to think of 10 things, kind of. So we're gonna start with number 10. Number 10. When I went to college once, and I mean once, probably for about 6 hours, I didn't want to hang out with my professor. Number 9. He keeps correcting her grammar. And, more importantly, he gave me a homework assignment to have done before the end of this episode. I'm only halfway there. Number 8. Sir Mike Knight has had to do multiple retakes for this entire episode because he keeps asking DJI to dinner. Just wait till you get the bloopers. I'm not lying. Number 7. Goatees. Goatees are for bikers and all boys clubs. That goes for you too, Mike. But, just saying. I shaved mine off. I just got word last week what they were for, so it's gone. Number 6. Nobody knows what a DGI is. What is a DGI? What is that? Like, is it short for something? Your name Daniel Garrett, Indiana? I don't know. Number 5. Miss Ovechkin keeps threatening to put him in a radio show timeout for getting off topic. Stay on topic, DGI, otherwise you're going to get a timeout. Ask Tank. Number 4. He didn't draft either one of us.
What's up with that?
Number 1 pick, really? Alright. Number 3. Since joining this league, he has never had a controversial comment towards anybody. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen this show Dexter, but they like to hide in plain sight. And all I'm saying is that's a little fishy. Some people get mad sometimes. Some people get mad all the time. Nobody never gets angry. I'm on you. Number 2. Detroit should have stayed in the Western Conference. Me being a Detroit fan, as you could tell by my previous few shows, I was wearing my Detroit garb. I don't think they should have moved over to the east side. Whether or not they're on the east side of the country, I don't care. Tradition to me is more important than flying miles. And the number one reason DJI Reppin's saying it should not be on an East Coast radio show. The West Coast show called Shotgun, and we totally broke the Shotgun. Sorry, guys. We stole him for a show. Please don't hate him. He's on the east side. He's going to come hang out with us for a little bit. He still loves you, I promise. He'll be back next week.
All right. But we're going to bring you regular installments of Carney's Roast every time that we have an owner on the show. Now, into one of the more popular segments, we have the top 5 plays. And I think we have enough for some not top 5.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, here's your top 5 plays.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never. Ever after work it.
Congratulations to our top 5. Now we're going to bring you the not so top 5.
Over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. Hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over.
I guess we don't say congratulations to our not top 5. Unless it were funny, then congratulations to our not top 5. I think that's all from this episode of the East Coast Radio Show. As always, thank you for joining us. Send us your top 5 plays, your not so top 5. Give us some hits. Give us some good goalie saves. We always love goalie saves. Send in your shit talking. Multiple ways you can send in your shit talking, but the preferred method, WhatsApp. If you can hit us up on WhatsApp, or give it to your owner, have them hit us up on WhatsApp. That is all from us at the East Coast Radio Show. As always, stay classy. and DGI goes on a date with me. All that and more.
No.
So, Joe, you gonna go on a date with me?
Oh yeah.
DGI. We're going on that date, right?
Oh yeah. Mike, you're pretty good at that. A lot of practice.
Go on a date with me. You'll see.
What, for the roast?
Is it weird that I'm looking at your actual eyes and not the camera?
Carney, I want to pop that thing, man. It's getting big.
I can't.
You look like you're about to like pop a blood vessel, friend.
I am. How do you hold your eyes open for so long?
He's crying! Oh my god.
Ah.
I got tears in my eyes.